You got the self-warming cooling clothing the other day, and it says you are being challenged to design and construct clothing that either releases or absorbs thermal energy. You need to keep in mind that this is doing it by a chemical process, okay? So there needs to be a chemical reaction that's happening. Your task for part 1 is with your group decide on what type of device you will design. Is your device going to help you with fighting hypothermia or hyperthermia? So the boxes down here, you're going to list your ideas, your thoughts, and discussion points. You need to tell me what's going on in these boxes. Then you are going to have initial. Most everybody was doing some form of this the other day. Part 2 on the back talks about, part 2 on the back says plan. Decide what chemical process you will use to make your device. Remember, you want a chemical process that will last for a while when not reacted, but react safely and quickly when needed. So an example for this one would be the hot hands. Okay, we've talked about this before. It's in a plastic package because when it reacts with air, it gets warmer. And we don't want it to get warm until we're ready for it. So it's in a plastic package, so it's sealed. It's not going to react until we're ready. You need to keep that in mind. So if you're trying to cool something, you need to make sure that the reactions that happen are not going to happen until you want it to happen. You need to explain your 3 options. Over here, I want you to tell me what chemicals you're using. If you don't tell me what chemicals you're using, I'm not going to give you a signature. Also, you need to tell me which option you are choosing and why. Then I will initial the bottom. This paper right here is part 3. You do not have this part yet. I'll give it to you in a moment. It says design. You're going to design your device with a diagram, labels, and a description. Remember, think about what materials are going to make your reaction work to the best of its ability. This is kind of like your rough draft. In language arts, you have a rough draft before you put your final paper in. This is your rough draft of your poster before you make your final poster. You need to make sure you have labels, diagrams, and a description. Then you'll get feedback from another group and feedback from me, and then we'll initial it. You will be making this purple on Friday, gold the Monday we come back will be your poster. Then I also have for you a rubric. This rubric is going to be how you're graded. It has content, design process, and communication. It has distinguished, apprentice, or distinguished, proficient, apprentice, novice, and that has a score. Every single person's going to get one of these. You are going to score yourself when your poster is done. Okay? So you need to keep this in mind when you're creating your poster. Make sure you have everything on here so you can get all the distinguished. There's a spot for your score and then a spot where I score you. Questions on this? Cooper.
What if we think it's really good, but you don't think it's really good?
Well, that's why I'm giving you a rubric so you can see, and I'll tell you exactly. I'll circle which one you got, and then you'll know which one I'm giving you. And then if you've got a question about it, we can talk about it.
You just
Right.
Nate?
Would cold hands be a good option?
Well, that just depends on what you're going to do. Cassidy?
So you have to use chemicals?
Yes. There has to be a chemical reaction taking place. Other classes, they've talked about ice packs. An ice pack is not a chemical reaction. That is just a liquid that's being frozen, and it's a slow time to thaw out.
Some ice packs, what about the ones that you
physical.
crack and
Those
then
are different.
mixes?
That is different.
It's
That
not
is a
liquid.
chemical reaction. The ice packs you put in your lunch boxes are not. Cameron?
So practically the clothes is supposed to be one time used, then
They don't have to be. You could create little pockets on the inside where you put your device inside, so then you can just have you get a new device each time, like glow sticks. You know how those are you can't reuse a glow stick, but you can buy more glow sticks, kind of like that. Any other questions? Okay. All right, Debbie.